Well, good afternoon, morning, evening, hello. Yesterday I opened with the word shit. That was a first, I believe. It is 111 and it is May the 1st, although this video is for May the 2nd, and the title is Can Lovers Really Co-Create New Worlds? Yes, it was supposed to be Aristo making a video with me today, but he got there later than expected. It should happen tomorrow. So I'm going to talk freely about my vision of using life force energy, also known as sex, to co-create more than simply children. What if all worlds have been created using that same energy? What if we really do live in a sexual universe? What if those who wanted to control the world knew that all along? What if that is the reason there has been so much teaching that negates not only sexual energy itself, but the divine feminine that provides the womb of creation for the entire cosmos? What if we haven't even begun to scratch the surface of what is possible? What if we are finally uncovering the real secret of creation itself? I got to admit that today has not gone exactly as I had planned. Everything's been going a little bit later than anticipated, and I have to get back on track. I anticipated Aristo contacting me between 7 and 8 o'clock this morning, my time, and hopefully having our video completed no later than 9 o'clock, because I had a call scheduled at 10, which didn't happen till 11 to 11:30, and I've been on that call up until about 11 o'clock, or just a couple minutes past 11. And again, it's when I say 11, I don't mean 11, I mean 1. Not 11, 1. Just past 1 o'clock, I finally completed that call, and that was with the ambassador, and it was a very interesting call. And I did communicate with Aristo this morning, and again, he's going to be we're going to be connecting and doing the video tomorrow. So that's why I'm doing a video today, and I was meditating on this earlier, although quite frankly over the past almost 2 hours I've been involved in something else, and my mind has not even been on this subject at all. It's been listening intently to that which was being shared with me by the ambassador. In any case, can lovers really co-create new worlds? For many years now, I have had this vision that the purpose of relationships, especially a twin flame relationship, I put it in that realm. That might even be a total nonsense. You know, there might not even be any such thing as twin flames. I don't know for sure. But there is such a thing as sex, and it has been abused and misused and misunderstood and attacked, and it's life force energy we're talking about here, folks. And I've had a vision that that life force energy, if you could get a couple, and honestly, I believe it's a man and a woman. I don't believe it's a man and a man or a woman and a woman. I'm not putting that down. I'm just saying I believe it's certainly masculine and feminine, because those are two corresponding energies. And I say corresponding, they are two halves of a whole. You have the masculine and the feminine, and they comprise a whole. They're not each half, but together they are whole, and each contain parts of the other, so that there is masculine in the feminine and there is feminine in the masculine. It's the yin-yang symbol. Excellent Eastern symbol of Eastern mysticism that depicts this in a graphic, two-dimensional form. In any case, I have visualized the union of these masculine and feminine energies as being the source from which all creation comes. Everything is birthed through the union, the conception that occurs at the union of those opposites. Everything comes into being from that, not just children. But we have been limited in our thinking, limited in the scope of our understanding. So I've had these visions coming to me of uniting with my partner, if you will, my my feminine other part, the woman, the lady, the goddess, the priestess, of uniting with her in sexual union, but firing on all cylinders. Now, let me tell you the image that I get. And this might help some of you understand a little bit why I say I prefer and I'm attracted to thin or petite or smaller bodied women as opposed to larger bodied women. There is a particular vision that I have of the union, and it's sitting face to face with my partner, with her on my lap, with her legs behind me, and my legs sort of behind her, and we are in a coupling position. And quite honestly, a large woman would either be awkward or uncomfortable in that position. But that's the position where all chakras are lined up with each other, where neither is in a superior position to the other, and where you're looking eye to eye, coupled at the root chakra, and between the root and the sacral chakra, the genitals, in other words. You're having sex. You're conjoined physically. And that conjoining with a balancing of the chakras between the two of you and focusing on a particular intent for the union, for the experience in that time frame, is how things are created. Now, do I know that? No, I've never experienced it. I've experienced sex. I've never experienced sex at that level. I've never experienced sex with someone that resonates and vibrates so much with me that we can literally be in sync with each other and co-create something together out of, if you will, nothing, but it really isn't out of nothing. What you're really doing is you're calling the energy and the elements together to form something in a physical realm. It's how you bring energy into manifestation, or how you bring that which is spiritual into physical reality. And that's the image. That's the image that I've had of what I've wanted in a relationship. Now, resonance is not only important, it is essential. So many people that I meet, even if I've got great physical attraction to them, there's not a whole lot of resonance. There's dissonance at some levels. Now, I met for about an hour yesterday afternoon with the lady that I went out with a week before, who I thought pulled away from me because I didn't want to smoke pot. Well, that really didn't have anything to do with it. I asked for and received clarification, and this is the last I'm going to talk about that. She just simply, she's listened to some of my videos, and she doesn't resonate. She has a different perspective on things. And the intensity that I focus over here, she chooses a totally different intense focus over in another area. And so she rightly determined and evaluated that, hey, you know, there's nothing wrong with you and there's nothing wrong with me, but we're just vibrating at a different frequency that doesn't right now go together. And so why should we attempt a relationship? Why should we have sex if we're not resonating? And that's so important. I'm not interested in having sex with somebody that I don't resonate with. Now, it's ironic that sometimes I feel a resonance with certain people on a spiritual level, but the physical part isn't there because it looks like it would not work from my mindset. And so my mindset would create a dissonance. Even if there's resonance in some areas, because I don't believe it would work, it wouldn't work. And the mind, I've learned through life, the mind is the most important thing in sex. I mean, when my mind isn't in sync with the activity that I'm involved in, the activity doesn't work very well. And that's a huge concern for me, huge concern. But now, what kind of a world can lovers create? If they are truly being honest with each other, if they are truly being intimate with each other, if they're not purposefully hiding skeletons in their closet or their basement, if they're committed to telling the truth, if they're committed to serving and upholding each other, not one serving the other and the other just accepting the service, but each serving the other, each with the desire and the intent of bringing out the best in the other person, each with the intent of being whatever is needed for the other person that you can provide. And in relationships, each person is going to bring certain strengths and certain weaknesses. And where the weaknesses can come together is with the strength in that same area from the other person. So each is included in and totally necessary and essential in bringing that union into wholeness and healthiness. Not just wholeness, but healthiness, a vibrancy of life. And from that vibrancy of life, you're able to accomplish way more than either of you could do on your own. That's my vision. And I've actually shared that vision in different words with different people, and it scares the hell out of them. I think I found somebody now that it not only doesn't scare, it excites her. Now, when I say doesn't scare, I got to admit, from my point of view, I'm scared of some things. It's not that I don't have fear, and I don't know that she's saying she doesn't have fear. I'm not sure of that, but I think that's true. But even when you have fear, if you bring that fear honestly into the relationship, you'll heal it. You'll heal it because you'll each be patient enough with the other person to allow them to be real, to allow them to be authentic, to allow them to be in a place where they are in integrity. And integrity is nothing more than being honest and truthful with yourself where you are right now. It's not about pulling the wool over somebody's eyes. It's not about lying to yourself. It's not about denial. It's not about avoiding something. It's about being willing to embrace life, because lovers embrace life. You can't be lovers if you're not embracing life. If you're not embracing life with all of its paradoxes and contradictions, and you have to embrace it as it is, on its own terms. You've got to embrace life. When you're willing to embrace life, then you're in love with life. And when you're in love with life, you love yourself, and you're able to love the other person. You're lying to yourself if you think you can be deceptive, and you think that you can run away from parts of yourself that you don't hide, or you think that the other person's going to make you so that you don't feel your feelings anymore, that you don't want, that you don't like, and you're only trying to avoid them and get away from them. That's not what relationships are about. Intimacy is bringing all of it, the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, together and healing it so that it's all beautiful, because it is all beautiful. It is all good when you look at it that way. It is all love when you look at it that way. And that perception, that willingness even to perceive from that point of view that everything ultimately is for good, when you're willing to perceive that, you become tremendously powerful. And when you link together with another human being that has the same intent, the same perception, the same purpose, my God, there's no limit. I don't believe there's any limitation in that relationship. I don't believe there is. That union, and it doesn't have to be defined as a monogamous relationship. I used to think it did, but I don't think that anymore. It simply has to be honest. It simply has to be real intimacy. Into me see. And it has to be, you have to bring your commitment to telling the truth and your vulnerability to being truthful. And nothing is going to be held back. God is a granter of desire. God wants that kind of relationship activated on the planet, because that's going to change the whole world structure. And the ambassador said it's not far now. The family, and he's part of the family. He keeps always talking about the family. And most of the family right now is in China. And they're not all Chinese. The family is from all over the world, I guess. I get the impression that this family is from all over the world. And their intent is to do the will of God, to bring about the new world. But the new world has to be ready, and we have to create it. We're going to create that by loving at a level that we've never loved before. Not just marriages or unions of convenience or unions of pleasure for the purpose of just dissipating our sexual energy somehow and getting a release. No, it's so much more than that is what my vision is. So much more than that. Again, it's union on all the major 7 chakras and all the minor chakras and into the heavens and into the earth. I mean, it connects us with life. And when we are connected with life, life serves us. Life serves us. When we try to resist life, guess what happens? Then life seems to be our enemy, and we have all sorts of bad things happen. But if we can get in that place of intent and resonance with each other, I believe the sky's the limit. I believe we're going to not only transcend this world, we're going to be able to create worlds of beauty, worlds where truth and justice do prevail, worlds where everything that we've known in this current world is able to be superseded. We're able to get beyond it. We're able to experience things at a whole new level. This is what I might, and I use the word might still, be on the verge of discovering for myself through actual experience, not just through vision, but through actual experience with a lovely lady who is seemingly on the same vibration that I'm on. There's so many synchronicities and serendipities that seem to be happening. It blows my mind, and we haven't even come together yet in any way other than to kiss and hug each other. That's the conversation. Anyway, that's it for today. I don't know where it might have gone if I was more focused just before I got here, but I wanted to get it done at 1:11, and it's done, and I have a whole bunch of stuff scheduled later in the day, so I've been having one busy day after another, and so please understand that. And again, thank you very much for listening, and I love you, and together, we're going to change the world, because we're already doing it. Thank you. Namaste.